Welcome to Danger, the channel where we dive into the world's most chilling true crime stories. Please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time we post something. Some murder cases become unforgettable because of the evidence investigators uncover. Others become unforgettable because of how cold and calculated the crime appears to be. But the case of Ashley Balius shocked people for both reasons. Prosecutors said not only was Ashley murdered by her own husband, but much of what happened was allegedly captured on camera. The case unfolded in Riviera Beach, Florida, in March 2017. Ashley Balius was only 31 years old at the time of her death. Friends and family described her as caring, intelligent, and deeply loyal. She was married to Dwight Luton, a firearms dealer who operated a business known as Strictly Tactical Firearms. The couple had built a life together connected to the gun industry, attending gun shows and working around firearms regularly. Because of this, Dwight's initial explanation for Ashley's death sounded believable to some people at first. According to investigators, Ashley and Dwight spent part of the evening together before returning home late at night. Surveillance cameras outside their home recorded the SUV pulling into the driveway shortly before midnight. What should have been an ordinary end to the evening instead became the beginning of a homicide investigation that would later gain national attention. Not long after arriving home, a gunshot rang out. When first responders arrived at the residence, Ashley was found inside the SUV suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. Dwight Luton told authorities that Ashley had accidentally shot herself while attempting to remove a firearm from her purse. Because both Ashley and Dwight were familiar with guns, the explanation initially sounded possible. Firearms accidents do happen, and investigators had to determine whether this was truly an accident or something far more sinister. Ashley was rushed to the hospital while investigators secured the scene. Sadly, she later died from her injuries. As detectives began examining the SUV and surrounding area, they quickly noticed inconsistencies. According to police reports, aspects of the physical evidence did not line up with Dwight's version of events. Investigators reportedly questioned the angle of the gunshot wound, the placement of evidence inside the vehicle, and whether Ashley would realistically have been holding the weapon the way Dwight described. But the biggest breakthrough came when detectives reviewed footage from the home's security cameras. The surveillance footage reportedly showed the SUV parked in the driveway with Ashley still inside. Investigators alleged that Dwight could be seen standing outside the vehicle moments before Ashley suddenly slumped over. Prosecutors believe the footage showed the fatal shooting occurring while Dwight was outside the car, directly contradicting his claim that Ashley accidentally fired the weapon herself while reaching into her purse. Investigators also claimed the footage captured Dwight moving around the SUV after the shooting rather than immediately calling for emergency help. Prosecutors later argued that he appeared to spend valuable time near the vehicle, allegedly wiping areas down and attempting to alter the scene before contacting 911. Authorities believed this suggested an attempt to cover up the crime and stage the death as an accident or suicide. That detail became one of the most disturbing parts of the investigation. Instead of immediately focusing on saving Ashley's life, prosecutors argued that Dwight's actions appeared centered on protecting himself. As detectives dug deeper into the couple's relationship, more troubling information allegedly emerged. Reports indicated there had been prior issues in the marriage, and investigators looked into Dwight's past behavior and legal history. Prosecutors believed the relationship may have been far more unstable than outsiders realized. Ashley's family was devastated by both the loss and the circumstances surrounding it. During interviews and court hearings, relatives expressed disbelief that someone Ashley trusted could allegedly be responsible for her death. Family members attended court proceedings wearing buttons with Ashley's photo and demanded accountability. The case drew even more attention because of the role technology played in solving it. In many criminal investigations, prosecutors rely heavily on witness testimony or circumstantial evidence. But in this case, investigators believed the security footage gave them a near real-time view of the crime and the moments afterward. Prosecutors later described the footage as one of the strongest pieces of evidence in the entire case. Dwight Luton was eventually arrested and charged with first-degree murder as well as tampering with evidence. Prosecutors initially pursued the case aggressively and prepared for trial. However, before a jury trial could begin, Dwight accepted a plea deal. In 2019, he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. The plea agreement meant prosecutors would no longer seek a first-degree murder conviction, but Ashley's family would avoid the emotional toll of a lengthy trial and years of appeals. A judge ultimately sentenced Dwight Luton to 40 years in prison. During sentencing, Ashley's loved ones spoke emotionally about the pain her death caused. Some described Ashley as the type of person who always supported others and brought positivity into people's lives. Hearing details about her final moments and the alleged cover-up made the tragedy even harder for them to process. The Ashley Balius case remains deeply unsettling because it involved someone accused of killing the person closest to them and then allegedly attempting to manipulate the scene afterward. It also became another tragic example of how dangerous situations inside relationships can remain hidden from the outside world until it is too late. Cases like this continue to spark conversations about domestic violence, coercive behavior, and how quickly situations can escalate behind closed doors. Many people who followed the case were especially disturbed by the idea that surveillance cameras may have captured evidence strong enough to completely dismantle the suspect's original story. What do you think about this case? Did the surveillance footage completely destroy the accident claim, or do you think there are still unanswered questions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you want more factual and respectful true crime content, please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, stay safe.